So a couple of days ago, I went to Sephora to get a couple of samples of the Huda Beauty foundation, the new one, the Faux Filter foundation. And because I'm the type of person that I'm not just gonna buy something unless I know I really want it. So I'm definitely a sampler. So I got two samples, but I already know which one is going to be the right color for me because I have swatched them already. I got a sample of Chocolate Mousse, which is a shade 450. And then I got a sample of Mocha, which is a shade 500. There was no like one in between. But since I already played with them a little bit, I am going to use Mocha. And I didn't get a sample of the primer because after playing with it at Sephora and then having done some research on it, it's pretty clear to me that I don't really need it. It's more of a moisturizing primer than a primer that's going to help with blurring or pores or anything like that. And I already have a lot of moisturizer that I use in my routine, so I'm just dotting this around. I have also already played with it with a sponge and a brush, and I know that I already like a brush more. And when I played with it with a sponge, it sheared it down too much, and I don't like that. I want all of my product on my face. So let's go ahead. And these colors, both of the samples that I procured, are very cool tone colors, which I actually really like, because of the fact that right now, for my skin tone, in the fall, I tend to get very yellow. So this would be perfect. And this foundation is definitely fragranced, just so you all know. It smells like a perfume that you get like at a Macy's counter. So if you don't like fragranced products, I find that it is released more when you are blending it. I don't think that you would smell it all day though, and if you would, that would be just insane. Definitely full coverage. I love that. And when I do my foundation, I do a series of like pressing motions like so, or buffing motions, or kind of like dragging motions, just because I want it to look more natural in certain places and I want to make it look fuller coverage in others. Okay, this is what I love about full coverage foundations, especially when you get a really good full coverage. It's not too like thick in texture and consistency. You don't really have to use like concealer in certain areas like I normally do. And I like though that even though it's really full coverage, I can still see my skin. Do I feel like it's faux filtered? I don't know. I think the faux filter, I think that's just like, kind of like almost like a, I don't want to say like a gimmicky word, but it kind of is. To me, any foundation that's extremely full coverage, I just spit, is going to give you that faux filtered finish because of the fact that you are covering everything. So I guess in that sense, then yeah, sure, it's faux filtered, but is it like blurring lines and is it like shrinking my pores? No, but at the same time, it's not necessarily drawing attention to my pores either, so I like it. Y'all know I usually do concealer on my mouth, and I don't think I'm gonna need to. I'm just gonna put a little bit more, just because I have a lot on my little peachy. I don't want to waste it. Yeah, I like this because a little bit goes a long way. I didn't even use that much, and you know the Sephora sample size are about this small. But I feel like there's a lot of products still left in here that's going to last me a good long time. So I'll get a few tries before I decide if I want to buy it or not. And that's what I like about samples. It's a non-commitment type of moment, especially for someone like me that I don't like returning things. So I would prefer to try it out and then make sure I'm actually wanting it before I go ahead and buy it. So now I want to put it to the test with the rest of my foundation routine and the rest of my like day-to-day routine. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm probably going to fast forward through this part and then I will tell you my final thoughts at the very end. But I do want to do some time checks throughout the day for you. So I'm going to insert pictures near the end of the video so you can see what it looked like you know, after 6 hours or after 12 hours or what have you. So it's a little bit after 8 right now. I think it's about 8:15 in the morning. So yes. One thing to note right off the bat, the Tarte Shape Tape also is scented. If you do not like scented things, or if you're more scented, if you're more sensitive to scented products, do not use these two together. I don't mind it, but it is something that I've noticed, and I feel like my face is very fragranced right now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'll also let you know if this scent lasts throughout the day, because that would be probably a bit much. That'd probably be a bit much. So far, so good. It is playing well with the concealer. It's not lifting in any areas. I'm not seeing any like holes. And I like it because it's not feeling too tight on my skin. It definitely is more of a hydrating formula. But not extremely hydrated. It's not, okay, let me put it this way. It's not like as matte as like the Kat Von D Lock-It or the Urban Decay All Nighter. I would consider this more like a satin or semi-matte. So because of that, it's not feeling as like tight on my skin. But I will say, my rule of thumb with full coverage foundations is just give yourself a little bit more moisture beforehand, which is why they do pair that primer with it. But since I prime with a ton of hydrating products already, I didn't find it necessary. Okay, not gonna lie though, now that I have my under eyes powdered and my concealer on, I do feel more faux filtered. And I think that's just because now I can control where I have like the shine, I have a little bit more coverage under my eyes. But so far everything is working really nicely together. So I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. I think this is gonna be something I end up purchasing. So even though I did just use my Studio Fix powder with it, and also this is just in general, I don't use a lot of my Studio Fix powder. I'm not using it as a foundation powder. I'm using it as just a finishing powder. But I just like to have the option of having more coverage. So that's just a disclaimer for my Studio Fix use. Because a little bit does go a long way, especially when you're already using something full coverage on top of it. Or underneath it. God. my hands are so ashy. Whoa. liking this more than I'm liking my Urban Decay all-nighter. I feel like I want to do like a half and half almost one of these days. It's the finish that I like. It's the coverage that I like. I really honestly don't mind the scent, even though I am aware of it. Let me do my eyes. Let me finish off my makeup look. Let me just stop sitting here looking at myself. Okay, y'all, so far, so good. I am really liking this foundation. I am liking the color. I'm liking how it worked with my other products. I don't feel like anything was skipping. I don't think like anything was like lifting in any areas. The texture is nice. It doesn't feel heavy on my skin. The one thing I would say for people that don't like scented products is just beware of this one, because it is scented, especially if you're using other scented products with it. You're just gonna have like a headache by the end of it probably. But I will insert pictures, and then at the end of the day I will also let you know what I think about it fully. Okay, y'all, so it is, where's my, sorry, it is 8:26 and I just got home from work a little bit ago and I had to change, hence the gray shirt. And I literally have not touched up with powder or anything all day. The only thing I did in the middle of the day is I like dotted my nose a little bit because I get shiny right in there, just like I did just then. And that is literally all I have done. So I can get up close for you. My under eyes are looking kind of runny. It looks nice and like lived in. So, I don't know, so you can see. Let me bring down the exposure a little bit. That's what it looks like. This foundation is amazing. This is just past the 12-hour mark and I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. The tone is still really great. It didn't oxidize at any point during the day. It stayed pretty freaking true. I don't mind the slight bit of like shine that there is. I love it. I'm good with this. I like this level of moisture. It's not really cracking up anywhere that I normally will crack up. There's a little bit happening. There's a little bit happening right in here. But usually like my little laugh lines, I get them really, really bad. So I am so happy with this foundation. I took a picture at the halfway mark today. So at the 6-hour mark, what is wrong with me? And I will insert that right now. And this is at the 12-hour mark. So honestly, I give this a thumbs up. I am gonna buy this foundation. I actually am gonna buy this foundation. I am so excited to buy this foundation. I love this and I highly recommend it. I'm gonna give this an 11 out of 10. Best foundation I've tried in a while. So nice job, Huda Beauty, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends. So you should watch my other videos and let me know what you think. Bye, guys.